I got this golf magazine, Raven,
Really?
in the mail today, and well, not today. It was yesterday. I was just looking at it today, and on one of the new clubs that they're promoting in the magazine, it says AI designed forged 455 face cup. Now, I'm no expert, but I don't know why I'd want AI designed a golf club. I think
Uh,
wouldn't it make more sense to have a human made golf club?
yes, it would.
Because I feel like that's kind of cheating. Because you're kind of like saying you're basically saying like, "Oh, I didn't do any work. I just had an AI do it for me instead."
Yeah, where's the passion and love?
No kidding. What happened to making things? But hold on, I'm gonna turn my mic down just a taddy tad. Okay, welcome to the Beastcast, episode 19. We are back. A very long, nice break. I'm looking at my logo now and I realize it needs to be bigger for next week, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. So yeah, we're back. We're back, baby. Yippee! Woohoo!
Woo!
So a lot has happened since the last time we went crazy. And I need to mute my fucking shit. God damn it. Okay. Muting my stuff up. No, a lot has happened. The last time we went crazy would have been what, 3 weeks ago now?
Yep, 3 weeks.
3 friggin' weeks ago. Wow, that's it's crazy. So,
Been too long.
Raven, before we get into our main stuff, anything new happened in your life since the last episode of the podcast?
No,
A-
actually, it's
and
about the same.
any lifestyle changes? Decided to go green?
I
Decided to
have been, yes, actually, yes. I've started eating the bacon sunflower salads that you can buy at Walmart in those like reasonably sized bags that had that it's a salad mix. I've just been eating that solely, aside from like maybe one or two other things here and there. Man, I've already lost 11 pounds.
wow, really?
Yeah, that shit goes hard. It's because the sunflowers speed up your metabolism and give you energy, and then of course bacon's bacon, and then you got lettuce.
So wait, where do I find this at Walmart? Like where
Go
in
to
Walmart?
go to where the shredded lettuce would be, like your iceberg lettuce and stuff. It'll be there with all the other assortments. Like you'll see all those
Okay.
nice little individual salad bowls. It'll be next to them in a reasonably sized bag. You can either get a really big bag or like the personal sized bag. It's really good. It has radish and carrots and other stuff into that salad too. It's a really healthy meal,
Yummy. Because
and it's filling too.
I've been doing most of the time I've been eating like healthy. I've been doing a lot of protein stuff, like not like meats, like protein bars, protein shakes, stuff like that. And I've been doing no sugar. I did have sugar yesterday. That was the first time I had sugar in 3 weeks. But I went out to eat with my aunt, my great aunt, for lunch, and I had a mellow yellow. That's the first time I've had sugar in like almost a month. But it was a tiny amount. I barely drank any of my soda, and I didn't really even notice it. So I mean, I guess yes. I guess technically it's resetting my how long I've gone without sugar, but still, no. I've completely tried to eliminate sugar out of my diet. I've been trying to get caffeine out of my diet. The problem is getting caffeine out of the diet is insanely hard. Caffeine is just in about everything other than water and caffeine-free soda and maybe some juices. I know there's even some goofy odd juices that do caffeine in them as well, which is kind of weird. Caffeinated drinks. Because if I remember correctly,
Caffeine.
doesn't caffeine also is that's like really unhealthy for your body in large amounts too?
Yeah.
Because I know like sugar in like pretty much any amount is pretty bad for your body. That's not is if it's not natural sugar. Like
Yeah, if it's not natural sugar.
artificial sugars in just about any amount are like horrible for you. But I've pretty much cut down all artificial sugars, so that's pretty good. I've been eating a lot more vegetables,
Mhm.
but I'm not a fruit guy, so I don't really get a lot of natural sugars anyways. I'm more of a vegetable guy. Hot take.
No, that's fine. As long as you're getting some sugar, not a lot, but just even some small amount, even if it might be because you need some electrolytes, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I
But
mean,
aside,
yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, of course, like it's not like it's gonna it's impossible to go like without a natural sugar at some point, but artificial sugar can be completely taken out of the diet. But
Yeah.
eating bad, I did have Burger King today. Now,
Hoo-hoo.
now hold on, just a minute, because the food, Burger King. Listen, Burger King is overhated. Okay, it is overhated. I 1,000% will stand by that. The worst Burger King I would much rather enjoy going to than a crappy McDonald's any day of the week, which we have both. So I kind of like going to my crappy Burger King rather than my crappy McDonald's. When you get a crappy McDonald's, food's dry, shit like that. It's very unpleasant. And like at least at a crappy Burger King, I like enjoy the food even though it's kind of coldish still. Like when McDonald's, I don't know why it's like hard to heat up. Like I can't just throw a McDonald's burger and fry in the microwave and have the same pleasant result. I can do that with Burger King though. I can get the same shit if I throw it in the microwave, like after if it's cold. But no, so I since the last episode of the podcast, I've had a couple Burger King stories. The first one was I had a deal. I have the Burger King app, where you can, oh my god, you can get crowns and save money. No, you don't really save anything, but um I got a deal. It was like $10 for a double bacon king, okay? A medium drink and um a what's it called? What's it called? And a medium fry. And so I was like, oh, okay, sure, I'll do that. That sounds like a steal. I get it. Order the food. Because I have to go inside because I have to use the app. So I'm going to get my soda and there's no ice. I was like, oh, okay, their machine's all fucked up. So I get caffeine, zero sugar caffeine, or diet caffeine Coke, and I put it in there and I'm like, oh wow, this is kind of warm. That's kind of ass. It's not even cold. Like it's the middle of winter. How is this warm? And I get my food, and I'm not kidding. My food was cold. So I had a warm drink and cold food. I don't even know how that's possible. Okay. I don't even know how it's physically possible at all. But I got
Wow.
I got cold food and a warm drink.
What the fuck?
And then
Really?
yeah, and then I decided I was gonna go today, and there's nobody else in the drive-through, and I went and I get for Burger King. I love going like every probably like month or so. I'll get it because it's really cheap. You can get two for $5. You can get two croissant sandwiches, and you can get it either like ham, bacon, or sausage. I always get sausage. Every once in a while, I get ham, but I got two sausage ones, and there's nobody else in the drive-through. And she goes, "Can I have you pull forward?" And I was like, "Sure, okay, whatever." And to give you guys some context, our Burger King's in a crappy area of town, and so our Burger King's pretty run down, and like you always walk in, the floor's sticky, and like there's bugs everywhere. Well, not like bugs, there's like flies, on the tables and stuff like that. And it's one of those Burger Kings, okay? And the lady, she's sitting she's like sitting at the window, and I'm like, "Oh, she's just not even doing anything." Okay. And I sat there for 10 minutes, and the lady finally comes out and brings my food to me. And she basically like just throws it at me and goes, "Thank you," and then just walks away. And I was like, "Okay." And I looked at my food. I set it on my passenger seat of my car, and I look out. I look through my mirror, like on the left side, like my left mirror on my car, and I see her. And I'm not even kidding. I was this close from throwing up. First off, she was wearing a stained, nasty, ripped pants. Okay, I could literally see like almost her ass cheeks from her pants. She had massive holes in the back of her pants. And then she had a sweatshirt. She didn't even have a Burger King hat or Burger King anything on. And she had a sweatshirt on. Like I'm pretty sure it was a homeless person fucking like giving me my food. And then finally, I'm not even kidding. I look, she doesn't have any shoes on and her feet are dark black, bro. She walked back into the Burger King and I'm like, there's no way she's working in the kitchen. And so I sat there for a sec. I waited. She goes back to the window. I was like, there's no way. She is barefoot with literal dirt fucking like feet. There's no way.
Oh my god, dude.
Dirty feet, no shoes, working in the fucking kitchen of a Burger King. Yeah. I don't think I'm going back to our Burger King ever again after that.
What the fuck, man?
Dude, there's a lot of good Burger Kings around me. That's not one of them though. That no, absolutely.
Dude, I would have taken some quick photo of that and I would have just sent it to Burger King and been like, dude,
Well,
really?
I'm putting this on TikTok, so Burger King finna hear this. So worst Burger King experience right there. But
Like, what
no,
the absolute hell?
Like, man, like I don't like I, I don't get if I got homeless people working at a Burger King now or something or what, but like wear some shoes, people. Or like
There's no excuse for that though.
I know, dude, like I can go to Walmart and get $10 Fila shoes like bro, you can at least get something. You could get flip-flops for God's sakes. Like it doesn't cost too much for crappy shoes. You just got to wear shoes, bro. Like I didn't expect them to be in fucking Tim's, like fucking $2,000 Tim's. Like I just want her to be in some shoes, man. And then I've had some pretty wacky shit. I've heard some wacky shit about the restaurants in our area. Our Subway that we have one Subway in our area, and um or in our town, I should
Burger
say.
King foot lettuce.
This dude, eh,
I bet you got some too. You
yeah,
got that Bacon King toenail
dude,
fungus.
dude, fucking passing the fuck out. No wonder why I've been feeling like shit these past fucking 7 weeks. But no, our Subway, this girl, um, apparently I'm not gonna say names, but my friend used to work there, and this girl used to work there as well. And there was one day she came out of the bathroom and she didn't wash her hands because he didn't hear the thing, and she came out really quickly, and she had period blood on her hands, and she put fucking gloves on and started making sandwiches. And I haven't been able to go back to our Subway ever since that either.
I mean, at least you put gloves on.
Yeah, but that's kind of vile, bro.
I wouldn't mind a little extra sauce on my sandwich.
It's Subway, bro. I don't get marinara on my fucking sandwich. Apparently, Subway has bomb ass pizza, but I'm too scared to go back to my. I mean, she doesn't work there anymore, so I mean, it's probably not the worst. I go
You
back.
want to try her sauce?
I mean, I've had Subway in the past. Like, I was gonna have Subway today, but I decided not to. I had Subway recently, like on one of the podcast episodes when I was bitching about it being $20. But other than that, I don't really go to Subway that often. Um, so and other than like our McDonald's, our Subway and our Burger King haven't been renovated in 20 years. Our McDonald's gets renovated like every 5 years. So our McDonald's is like really pristine and high end. I actually had good food from our McDonald's finally. One day. It was Thursday. It was Thursday. I went with my friend and we actually ate in because we wanted to see how the new redesign was. Very awesome. It gives me like a nice like 60s, 70s diner grill style. Like that was the style they were going for on the inside, and they had these really really nice fashion like bright colors seats and stuff like that. And I got a Big Mac, and then I got a fry and a drink. And yeah, although I am pissed at McDonald's. McDonald's, count your fucking days, I'm coming after you. I had like 7,000 points saved up on the app, which would have got me a whole ass Happy Meal, bro. And I went to use my points, and it said, "Oh, invalid. The scanner's not working." I look at my app, it used my points, but I didn't get I didn't get anything for using my points. It just scooped my points up. So McDonald's, count your fucking days. I'm coming after you guys, bro.
That's
Uh,
right.
I'm coming after you. I was pretty pissed off about that. And then, speaking of which, I might go today. Um, they finally have the Shamrock Shake back already. Just starting
Already?
yeah, yesterday. Yesterday. It's 3 days after Valentine's Day. Or is it no. Yeah, it's 3 days after Valentine's Day. It's the 17th. The 17th of February, they bring back the Shamrock Shake, and they did. And I went there yesterday. Oh, ice cream machine's down. Oh my me. Like, dude, I just want a fucking Shamrock Shake already, dude. And dude, the Shamrock Oreo fucking McFlurry, dude. Oh my god. The only thing that I think would be better is the Shamrock McFlurry, but with fucking M&Ms, bro.
Dude, M&Ms are the bomb.
Yeah. M&M McFlurries are pretty fire. But no, so we got a lot of news that we missed. So
Yes, let's talk about it.
the news. Okay, so James Gunn. Well, the last time we had an episode that wasn't a weird fast food ranking tier list episode like the last episode was. Um, we decided that James Gunn, we would see where James Gunn is going to go with this new DCU. not the DCEU anymore, just the DCU. And we decided, as it currently standed, that James Gunn needed the gun. He needed to be shot, fired, killed, whatever. Um, he needed to get out of there. But
Yeah.
since then, they dropped their full 10-year plan on what's to come, and it doesn't look bad at all. Actually, it doesn't look bad at all. And then this will tie into the man on the screen himself, Ezra Miller. But for now, Raven, what were your thoughts when I sent you the video on the 10-year plan? Did you watch the 10-year plan? Because it was only like 3 minutes, I think.
No, I didn't watch the 10-year plan.
So
10-year
it's
plan.
it's only like a 4 minute video, but basically they announced that instead of just focusing on giving like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, fucking Aquaman, just a bunch of movies, they're gonna try and branch out and build the world up a little bit. So there isn't gonna be a new Superman origin story. The whatever rumor about that was apparently false. That wasn't true. They're gonna continue with Superman, but it's just not gonna be Henry Cavill as it currently stands, unless everybody's getting trolled. And also it apparently it seems as if Henry Cavill kind of left on his own terms as well too. Is what a lot of it was looking like. And on top of that, we have no idea who's going to come back as Batman. But if the Flash movie does what I think it's going to do, we're most likely either going to get Christian Bale as Batman again, or we're going to get Robert Pattinson, cuz one of those Batmans in that Flash universe bullshit, the into the multiverse bullshit, is because they're gone. Buddy Batman's gone. Our Ben Affleck, our beloved, is going to be gone. He's not going to come back to Batman, and he's already said that. But
So sad.
I think Christian Bale is like what, late 50s already.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see. He's 49.
Oh, he's not even anywhere near as old as I thought he was. He could definitely play Batman for another 10 years. An old Batman.
Yeah, he can.
He could play an old Batman for another 10 years. Um, I thought he was way older than 49. He's really only 49.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's what it says.
Wow. And he's one of those guys that stays in really good shape. So he definitely
He can stay in all kinds of shape. You just gotta ask him.
hey, but he's not natty, which is kind of fucked up. But um, no, yeah, I feel like he could do Batman for another. Cause is Ben Affleck older than him?
Okay.
Yes,
Yes, by 1 year.
by a year. So um, so yeah, I think I could see. I think I could realistically see him.
I could
eh,
see them pulling off some funny jokes like 1 year later, because again, he's 1 year older than Christian Bale. So 1 year later, it's Christian Bale's Batman. It's like, damn, you look different, Bruce Wayne. Like, yeah, I atrophied a little.
But could they somehow tie? Because I mean, they gotta do, because you can't tie the Dark Knight universe into without it being a multiverse. You can't say that the Ben Affleck timeline is anywhere near the Dark Knight Rises timeline. I mean, they both do get a Robin, but Batman has been gone. Batman has been gone in the Dark Knight universe, and I just don't think it would have worked. I think
Well, in the Batman v Superman movie, it does state that Batman came back from retirement.
yes. However, Joker, first off, is too young. He would, if going by that case, Dark Knight Rises happens. Okay, let's say this is an old Batman out of retirement for 10 years. He's in his mid to late 40s. Let's say this Batman's as old as Ben Affleck is. Okay, he's in his mid to late 40s, and Batman in this is about the late 20s. That would mean that the Joker wouldn't have aged at all. He would have stayed pretty much the same age, because Heath Ledger is about the same. What was Heath Ledger's Joker was probably around the same age as Batman, um, which would put Buddy's Joker at like late 50s, and I don't really see. or like early 50s, sorry, like around the same age as Batman.
Falling in acid can do stuff to you.
I mean, I guess I don't know, man. I suppose they could.
I don't know, man. It's I looked at this new Flash trailer and I have a couple fears that come with it. Is this meant to segue into James Gunn's universe that he wants to do? Because the way I saw it is they're releasing this Flash movie because they already filmed and did everything for it and they just don't want to lose money off of it. Like all of this was already filmed and done before James Gunn was even considered a thing for coming on board.
Uh, I would assume so. I also feel like they probably did some reshooting somehow, even though I'm pretty sure Ezra Miller is like in jail. But
There's
I would.
no way they did any reshooting.
Well, I mean,
This dude was on the run for all of 2021.
well, they could have done reshooting last year though. There was a reason why the movie got held back a year.
Yeah,
But
because of him running around for 2021.
but okay, he's on the run in 2021. What stop? How is he gonna settle down in 2022? Like, how would he have done that? I don't think. Okay. Here's my theory. Ezra Miller's Flash is gone after this movie. This is the last time we're gonna see Ezra
Yes.
Miller's Flash, 100%. Because this Flash, I'm gonna sacrifice myself, and then the other Flash, and then everybody thinks the Flash is dead, and then the other Flash from the fucking from the CW goes, "Hey guys, what's going on?" Fucking stupid little
If they
reveal.
bring him in, okay, no troll. If they bring in the dude who plays in the CW show as some multiverse crossover to be the new Flash on the screen, the movie will get a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty fucking epic. That is pretty sick.
I will 100% just be like, all right, I'm sold. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's rather than bringing in some random doofus to play the Flash. Like I bet you that I'm afraid that that's what they're going to do. They're going to do they're going to sacrifice Ezra Miller's Flash and his twin that you'll see in the movie, and then they're going to have like some multiverse Flash come in that's going to be played by some dude they never announced, and he's going to walk in and I'm just going to be like, "Who the hell are you and why?"
Yeah, that was my fear, but I think they'll pull it off. I think they're gonna do the
Or they're going to
CW.
do the worst thing possible. They're going to bring in Wally.
No, dude. Robert Pattinson is definitely coming back as Batman in this.
My fear for the Flash movie is that like I get it, okay? It was already filmed and it was already written like its script was written and I know people change scripts here and there, so I get it. There's always reshoots. But the script like the way everything was coming out, it felt like they hired the exact same dude who did Spider-Man No Way Home. Like, and that's what it feels like. I'm getting No Way Home vibes, but like I'm watching the trailer though. But because I already know that like for Spider-Man to do the No Way Home thing, kind of like the multiverse thing, kind of like fucked me up a little because I've always known the Flash to be the one to do that. So I actually no lie, no bat chest. I actually got some chills from the Flash trailer because when you see both of those Flashes come together and their heels touch and they take off, man, I was all like, woo! And then for a moment there, I was wondering, why is one of them having blue lightning? I thought that's Zoom. And so for a moment, I thought we were going to get Zoom in this Flash movie as a villain.
Yeah,
I got, yeah.
I, well, yeah, I think. Okay, so I wonder if they're gonna bring in Reverse Flash.
Man, I hope not. I hope they just
It
now
was
I'm
me,
hoping.
Barry. I jerked you off at super speed to make it seem like you nutted at the touch of a woman.
Dude, if they bring in the CW Flash, I would actually be a lot happier because funny enough, I liked the first season of Flash on CW, the way that they did the Reverse Flash in that show, and the way it was revealed, and the way it was done, and it tied into his mother's death. I thought that was like 10 out of 10 done. Like for a TV show, I thought that was top notch. If you bring in a new Flash, and it looks like they're retouching the whole my mother's death thing in this Flash movie, and you don't have a you redo the Reverse Flash and sucks ass, I'm not gonna like it. That's why now I want them to tie it into CW because we don't need that retold. We just need to move forward. Let's go.
Yeah, and that's kind of what they're doing. So,
Bring
but
back Zoom though.
but what the thing is, this is, if I remember correctly, Flash doesn't have another movie. This is his only movie, right? First movie.
Yeah, this is his first movie.
Yeah. It's kind of, I feel like it's kind of difficult to make a Flash movie, but the way they're doing it makes sense. Cuz he's got that flashpoint or whatever it is where you can like he did that in Justice League where you like can kind of reverse time and shit and fuck with time. Which we'll get into time in a minute when I talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp. But so no, so this is what I mean by they're building up the year. So they announced their full DC 10-year plan. So they're gonna have a Waller, like Amanda Waller from Peacemaker, which we need to watch at some point, which is really funny. They're gonna have a Superman Legacy, which is a live action film. So this will be a follow up to Man of Steel, and this will be right after Justice League and all that. And then there's a Lanterns, which goes. This isn't about the current Green Lantern. This is about a bunch of lanterns from like the way past. This would have been like the late 1800s. They're gonna do this kind of goofy, kind of little wacky show where it's gonna kind of follow the Green Lantern and how the lineage got to the current Green Lantern. The Authority, never heard of that. Paradise Lost, nothing new. Booster Gold. I actually okay. So do you know who Booster Gold is?
Nope.
So Booster Gold is a superhero, and everybody on the internet used to make fun of it for used to make fun of him for being the most least known, like stupidest superhero, and they're actually giving him a TV series. Like this is what I mean. James Gunn, he loves these like underrated small little like superheroes and like things in the universe, and he wants to build on them. There's a Supergirl live action film too, and then there's a Swamp Thing film too. So they're gonna have like this. There's a Batman. There's a yeah, bunch of
Have
other
you
shit.
seen the first season of Swamp Thing?
No.
They had it was they had a show. DC had a show, the Swamp Thing, that came out back in 2018 or something, that they were trying to do because their DC stuff was taken off.
Hmm.
And it was actually really good, but they canceled it. They canceled the second season, so a lot of stuff came like, but it was made by James Wan.
Oh,
It's got a it has it's like half horror, half normal. It's really good fucking show.
but this is our 2023 lineup. So we have Shazam: Fury of the Gods, which looks really good. I don't know if you watched the trailer for that, but that looked really good. That's coming out pretty much a month from now, 30 days from now. Then we have Flash in June, and then we have a Blue Beetle movie. That will be James Gunn's. This will be James Gunn's first creation. This was what he was theorizing when he first came to DC. Before he took over. So this would have been around the time that he was working with Suicide Squad. So this is basically going to be James Gunn's first movie since Suicide Squad. That's not in that's in the DC universe. And then we have Aquaman coming out at the end of the year on Christmas, bro. So,
Is
and
the Aquaman character the same
yes,
actor?
it's gonna be Big Boy.
So basically, everybody but Henry Cavill gets to play his fucking character.
Well, no, because basically the only people that are staying is gonna be Aquaman and Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
Batman's
they'd never get rid of Jason Momoa.
and they'd never get rid of Gal Gadot. She's too hot, and she looks like Wonder Woman anyway, so
It
it kind of
just
works.
sucks that they got rid of Henry, man.
I know.
Look, I'm going to tell you straight up. I am going to be, and I'm just going to get it out of the way. Okay. I am going to be a nitpicking motherfucker when it comes to these movies because I was really enjoying the storyline that we had. I was really enjoying Dark Side and the teaser we got at the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League, not the 2017 one from Joss Whedon. He can go suck a dick. And I was really enjoying what was happening. And now I'm being yanked away from that, and I'm told no, do over, and we're doing this, and it's going to be really hard for me to accept it. So James Gunn and his plans and his tenure is going to have to do a very hard job to win me fucking back.
Well,
I'm just
you
saying.
gotta also remember they're still building off of the Snyder universe a little bit. because they're as far as I'm aware, they plan on keeping Darkseid as he's gonna one day he's gonna come. Because the reason why they're building this up is they're gonna make like a Justice League kind of like how it is in the animated TV show where it's like the whole Justice League, like it's like the Avengers, where it's just a shit ton of them. Like that's the
I
goal.
don't want a Marvel 2.0. I want a DC like I was having. I don't want Marvel. I want DC. And that's why I'm scared of James Gunn because I don't want to turn on the fucking uh movies from DC except for Shazam because he's meant to be that way. Okay, I don't want to turn on these movies and have like these fucking Green Lantern shit and everything, and all I'm getting is fucking Guardians of the Galaxy vibes. Like, I love Guardians of the Galaxy because it's Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't want my Green Lantern to be Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't want that humor Marvel bullshit in my DC movies.
And I mean, he's only gonna have so much say over like that stuff. Like this is just a plan that he wants for like things. Like he's not directing this. So I imagine we're still gonna get that kind of dark DC vibe that we got from like Batman, where it's very kind of dark, gritty, boots on the ground, a little more hyper, like not hyper realistic, but a little more. It's not as like fantasy as like Marvel, where motherfuckers are literally flying around and fucking Ant-Man is turning big and fucking Thor and shit like that. It's nothing like that. It's gonna be more like kind of boots to the ground type of shit. But I am still a little excited because a lot of these do look really good. And I'm sure they're gonna be able to. I mean, yeah, you gotta nitpick it because they're completely taking something that was kind of already working. I think for them is they just want something that's gonna be a surefire. Like they not a lot of people were not happy with the Snyder universe, and they kind of want to do something that's gonna be that everybody can enjoy. Like the gritty people like us who really like the Snyder universe can enjoy because it's still kind of tying into it, but then there's also, if you want, there's shit like the Suicide Squad and Shazam that's kind of Marvel esque, so you can kind of like those people can be happy too. I think that's their main goal with it.
I
But
think people were warming up to it once Marvel took a shit.
and Batman definitely proved that, considering how much sales Batman got. Batman really, I think, put in the light that superhero movies other than Marvel can work. Like that's the thing. You can hate Batman all you want, but at the end of the day, it proved a point. It proved that superhero movies do not need to be flashy, bright, colored, with the hero always getting a complete win at the end of the day and becoming a massive hero. Batman saves the day, but at a massive cost. It's very dark, it's very gritty, it's not hyper unrealistic. It's it's like different from what we had, and it worked, and it did really well. It sold like over $700 million in the box office, which is about what Batman Returns fucking did in 2005. So it's on the same league as going as it currently stands. It's numbers wise on the same league as the Dark Knight series, and they don't even have Christopher Nolan directing it. But Matt Reeves, you can also hate him if you want. It's he's a good director. He's a good director. He's one of those directors. He's like Stanley Kubrick, where his goal is, yeah, he's of course he's making money, but he wants to make a film. He wants there to be like little tiny things that you don't notice your first watch through that you have to notice on your second watch through or your third watch like through, like certain just tiny little things. Like everything's got to be like, you know, perfect. The perfect picture, which is why I love Matt Reeves and why I actually really like Batman, because you can watch it over and over and over and find random little hidden shit or things that you never realized before. So I think it's pretty cool.
Well, the Flash will have to try drawing me. I am a little excited for it because Michael Keaton coming back as Batman. I
Okay, but
want
if
to.
Christian Bale comes back as Batman, though, is that a W?
Oh yeah, it is a W. Christian Bale coming back as Batman is a huge W. But I don't want the whole movie to literally just be like, "Oh, remember this guy?" or "Oh, look at this. This guy's back." or "Oh, see,
That's
the movie's not
yeah.
so bad. We have this guy."
That was exactly what Spider-Man: No Way Home did.
I know, and it was just like, oh, my
The thing
God,
was,
dude.
it was one of the best-selling Marvel movies of all time. Yet it's not even anywhere near as good as the first two Spider-Man movies.
There was only one part in No Way Home where like it hit me in the feels because I liked I mean I liked so far I've liked every Spider-Man except for Tom Holland and the hot take. And so with Andrew Garfield's, you know, when he had caught MJ in that movie, but when she was falling, you know, and he was kind of like able to save her in the way he couldn't save Gwen, and he had that like emotional moment where he's like crying because he's like, "Yay, I did it! I didn't let this one die." I was all like, "Oh man, that kind of hurt. That scene with her having her fucking skull hit the pavement when he was trying to catch her just replayed in my mind over and over again. I was all like, "Yeah, I feel you. I feel you, Andrew Garfield. That hurt a lot. Thanks for that moment."
Well, the thing about Tom Holland is he kind of just fits the bill for Spider-Man though, like really well, because that's like the characters he plays. He plays goofy, wacky young guys who are pretty strong, powerful, like Nathan Drake. He fits Nathan Drake pretty well because Nathan Drake is a goofy, wacky guy who you would think, oh, look at this guy. He seems like he can fight, and then he fights like a dumbass. You're like, oh, I can take him on, and then all of a sudden he's using fucking tequila and fucking blowing fucking fire out of his mouth at a bar, killing a dude. It's like, what the fuck? Just some wacky, goofy shit. Like he always is good at that as those characters. That's why I thought he was pretty good in Uncharted. I really enjoyed Uncharted movie too.
I
Tom,
still have to watch that.
that's a good Tom Holland movie. I'll tell you what. And Uncharted 2 most likely will be getting a release trailer this year, if it doesn't come out at the end of the year, which I hope it
We're
will.
getting another one.
Well, so Uncharted dropped what 2021, right? And or did it? It might be another year. We might have another year. Either way, they already teased. Well, first off, they teased at the end of uh Uncharted 2 movie. Uh, they teased at it. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Um, they teased at there being a second Uncharted movie, and it's gonna follow more. It's gonna follow more into Elena, which is Nathan Drake's wife, and they're gonna bring her into it finally, and then they're going to. They announced that they were already filming it like a year ago. Uncharted movie. Oh, it was 2022. It was early 2022. Okay, yeah, it'll be a while. Oh, hey, a year ago today. Well, what did you look at the timing? It did pretty good in the box office too. I mean, for it being a video game movie, it's very well liked for being a video game movie, and it's also pretty good in the box office.
It's because of Tom Holland. It brought in
Yeah,
all the kids.
yeah. But Morbius, however, this was the most movie of all time.
Dude, I'm still look, no cap, no joke. I promise you, this isn't a meme. I actually enjoyed the Morbius movie. I
Morbius was
actually
goofy.
I
Morbius was
actually
fun.
enjoyed it. Like the first half of it, I thought was an absolute banger. Like the first half, I was all like, okay, I heard this movie was shit. So far, I'm like halfway into it. This movie's like awesome. And then of course the second half happened, and I was all like, all right, okay, you know what? I was having a this the first half, just the first half. If somebody literally went into the editing studio and was just like halfway through, the best friend becomes the vampire, and then they're like, "All right, the end, roll credits," I would be like, "Damn, that was a 10 out of 10 movie right there." We'll see in the sequel what actually happened because the rest of the movie was shit. But
There's
like the
no
first half,
way they're making a Morbius sequel. There's no chance. I'm sorry,
well, I
but
know. I'm saying if they cut off,
there's no chance with how that movie did. There's no fucking way.
I would do it. I would honestly, I would if I was one of their billionaire CEOs, I would actually foot the bill for the next sequel. I would do it. I would I would be like, all right, look, we
But could
can't
you
erase the
redeem
first.
Morbius though? I mean,
Yes, you
they
could.
are gonna they are gonna okay. No. They have announced that Morbius most likely will not get another film, but he will be in the MCU now that he's gonna be working with fucking Michael Keaton, fucking what's his face, Vulture. They're gonna get out of the Morbius universe and they're gonna go to the Spider-Man universe. Or the I guess the MCU. But I don't think he's gonna get another film. I don't think he can get another film.
I would personally fund another film for one reason. Okay, we would do some changes. One being the dumb blue blood shit would go away. It would be real blood. We would go full out the way Morbius deserves in terms of horror. We would we would bring back the elements from the comics that made it awesome, and we would just refashion the story. At most, I would actually pay to remake the first movie because the first half of the first movie was great. The second half was dog shit. If we just cut the, like I told you, like I said, go back to the editing studio and just cut the movie in half and delete the second half, and then just reshoot the second half of the film and stitch it together with the first half. You could easily make it an 8 out of 10 movie. Just fix everything else that came afterwards because the first half was good. Him becoming Morbius on the boat and murdering everybody was good. Like how he came back and was in that hospital room and everybody's wondering how he's the only one that survived. That kind of mystery of like, how did this dude be the only one who survived along with that woman? Like, all that shit was good. All of that was good. Okay. It was the second half of the movie and that weird ass fucking we're planes giving off crop dust fight that was absolute shit. We got to fix that.
Yeah. You know what movie I am excited for that
What?
that does have Jared Leto in it?
What?
The finishing of the trilogy of Blade Runner.
Oh, they're having a third Blade Runner movie?
They're gonna have a third Blade Runner movie. It's gonna be the end of the Blade Runner, and they're gonna call it a trilogy. It's not gonna come out for a while. It most likely will not be until like 2025. But honestly, that's good because at the end of the day, I like my movies good, and the Blade Runner movies are one of those movies where they don't come out a lot and they take a long ass time, but when they come out, at first, you're like, and then you rewatch it and you're like, you know what, this movie was really good. And then you watch it again and you're like, wow, this movie is actually great. There's so many like things that you didn't notice, and then you kind of dig into it and you're like, wow. Like that was the thing with 2049. I walked out of the movie theater in 2049 in 2017. With Blade Runner 2049, I walked out of the movie theater because I was very disappointed. But when I rewatched it, I really enjoyed it. I loved it. But no, I thought the thing about Morbius was Matt Smith, this guy who played one of my most favorite doctors in Doctor Who. He played the 11th Doctor, okay? He played the 11th Doctor and first off, we need to talk about Doctor Who, but Matt Smith, he played a great doctor. He was super funny. And yeah, so the Doctor in Doctor Who, he's like this time traveling, kind of like basically like a space wizard a little bit. He's kind of like, he's not like a Jedi, but he's basically like he calls himself the Doctor because he just helps people. He just helps people, and that's like every episode is like him just doing a wacky adventure with like somebody, and they're just doing something on some goofy planet. And Matt Smith played a doctor, and there's one where they actually help uh fuck, what's his face? Not Da Vinci. The guy who cut off his ear. I don't remember.
Oh, why do you do this? I know his name in every
Yeah.
other day.
Yeah. He
Van
painted
Gogh.
Van Gogh. Yeah, Vincent Van Gogh. There's actually one where he helps Vincent Van Gogh, and Vincent Van Gogh's like, "I'll never be anything," and it was at the end. It was at the end, or it would have been around like the end of Vincent Van Gogh's life. The episode, he goes back in time, and so the doctor, he's not supposed to do this because he can travel space and time, and he has never done it before. And it was this doctor that did it. He made the choice to take Vincent Van Gogh to the future, to the Vincent Van Gogh art museum in the UK. And when Vincent Van Gogh he took him there, and Vincent Van Gogh like broke down in tears and like hugged him and stuff. And it was kind of like a goofy, like that's like all Doctor Who is. It's just like goofy little things like that that just are like, wow, that was actually really interesting. Like what if this happened or what if this happened. And now they're destroying it because okay, so Doctor Who, you can see right here. I don't know if you can really see it. People can't see it. And I'm not going to show you guys. But Jodie Whittaker, this girl, she played the 13th Doctor. Okay, this
Yeah.
doctor right here. First off, not only is she an asshole, but she sucks at acting too. So these were the current doctors. So this is Matt Smith right there. She's the worst. She's the worst out of them all. And everybody and they tried to turn Doctor Who, like the writers tried to turn it into, oh, you guys don't like her because she's a woman. She's way better than the other four. And then
Oh, the
I was,
default
yeah,
excuse.
yeah. And then but if you look into it and you watch it, first off, not only is there a degrading quality of the show, but also the writers announce. Okay, so here's the thing about Doctor Who. Doctor Who has been going on for 50, 60 years at this point. Okay, it started in like the 60s, so it's been around for a while. And when this Doctor came around, the showrunners announced that they're not going to use anything from the previous Doctor Who's. Now, that would be like if Star Wars that would be like if George Lucas decided to take over Star Wars again and said, "Yeah, I'm going to make a new Star Wars movie, but we're not going to use anything from the Star Wars universe at all, not even lightsabers of the Force." That's exactly what this is. Okay? And then when it doesn't do well, then you guys just go, "Oh, you guys are just hating on it because it's a woman." No, we're hating on it because you're fucking messing the show up. Like I got so pissed. This would have been like 3 years ago or 4 years ago. This was 4 years ago. This would have been like 2019, 2020, whenever it was. And they fucked it up. They really did. Cuz Peter Capaldi, you know him. He played in Suicide Squad, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great actor. Matt Smith, he has some good roles. He was really good as a doctor. And then David Tennant, he played in Harry Potter. He played easily, this is the best doctor of all time. Like this one and then this one. And David Tennant, he was really cool. He was awesome. In fact, when you look it up, he's basically every picture because everybody loved David Tennant. He was a good actor. And then you have this unknown woman who played, I think, in like one random TV show in in the UK, and that was it. And I didn't fuck with it. I didn't fuck with it. And then they're only supposed to have 13. The doctor only has 13 lives. So after he dies 12 times, the 13th life, which would have been this fucking loser, um, what should have been it. But she dies, and they just bring back another dude, and they're like, yeah, now here's this other dude, and yeah, I don't know, I gave up. So sorry,
Bro,
there's my Doctor Who rant that nobody had any idea of what was going on. But
you know
basically,
how something shit
how?
when they don't just say you hate her because she's a woman, when they also have to say you hate her because she's a woman and she's better. Like the moment you add the and she's better, you already are gonna. It's not for you to decide that. We, the viewer, decide if she's better. You don't. When have you ever seen a superhero, or at least haven't you ever learned when somebody watches a villain movie and the villain goes, "You're just mad because I'm better than you." How everybody hates the villain because now the villain's acting like he's all that.
Yeah, I mean, and it's the same shit. I mean, and you cannot tell me that of all the actors on this list that's been going on for 50 years, okay, there was 50 years of actors here, okay? You cannot tell me that not a single one of them is better than her. Okay, look, if she could have done it, she could have proved herself. I had high hopes. I was like, you know what, a woman doctor. There was a lot at first. There was a lot of misogynists. There was a lot of misogynists that came out and were like, we are not. We're gonna boycott the show because UK is fucking wild. Those guys are like monkeys over there. They are still devolved, but they were like, oh, we're not gonna watch the show. We're gonna boycott this fucking show because there's a fucking woman in the spot. But um, I had high hopes. I was like, you know what? She's an unknown actor, and usually a lot of times when you get unknown actors in roles like this, it's good. But then I watched the first 3 episodes and they immediately made it about they did a Rosa Parks episode, which is really weird. And they made an episode where there was a space warlord who was basically just Donald Trump. And I was like, okay, so we're just going into American politics. And then they did a third one where they basically there's a space corporation that was basically like Amazon, and then they just talk shit about Donald Trump again in Amazon. And I was like, okay, this is dumb. Like, I don't even like Donald Trump, but it was just annoying because they had never once done political shit in any of the other doctors. Okay, there was fake politics, like like there'd be the UK Prime Minister in quotes, even though it wasn't the real UK Prime Minister, and he'd get saved by one of the doctors or whatever. But there was never real politics. They started to bring in like real politics and real messages, and I was like, this is stupid. Like this is really dumb. And also, she can't act either. Like it just was kind of it was wacky watching her like act because the doctor is meant to be this quirky, goofy like goofball. So you think like an actor who can't act would be able to play the doctor really well because they're like they have like Asperger's, like they're really weird in situations, like they can't really handle themselves, like they don't know what to do. They're an alien. They're an alien, and you would think somebody would be able to do that, but she's trying too hard. Like she's too nice, and it was weird. I don't know. But no, Matt Smith, yeah, there's my rant. There's my rant. I don't want to rant anymore about Doctor Who, but there's my rant. I used to be
All
really
right,
big
yeah.
Doctor. I used to be a massive Doctor Who fan, and then they messed it up, and then yeah, sad. But it's all on HBO now. It used to be on Amazon. It's all on HBO if you want to watch it. If you want to watch it, here's what I recommend. season 1 through season 5 of the new Doctor Who is amazing. You have four of the greatest actors in the UK of all time playing a really goofy fun character, and it's really good. I actually, even though it was all on Amazon and HBO, I bought all of the episodes of season 2 through 5. So I have them of all time. But yeah, there's my rant. There's my rant.
Beautiful rant, man.
Okay. Um
Over a literal who.
yeah.
I'm proud of you.
No, there was a joke that my dad used to make, and he'd be like, when you get the Chinese Doctor Who like H or like WHU, like Doctor Who, and
Hmm.
he was like, "Hey, are you the doctor?" He'd be like, "I'm not that doctor. I'm not that Doctor Who. I'm not that Doctor Who." And I don't know why that shit was so funny to me when I was younger. I used to laugh my ass off when I'd hear that. But no, getting out of the UK because I hate the UK. Yeah, I think James Gunn. We'll see how he goes. We'll see. 10-year plan. We got 10 years, so I mean, something's gonna happen. Now, bread and butter to end it off. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Quantumanium.
All right.
Spoiler
Yep.
alerts. Spoiler
Spoil it
alerts.
away. Spoil it away.
So just to let you know, if you haven't watched a movie and you're wanting to watch it, don't watch it. Okay. No, actually, it was good. It was good to a degree. So the thing about it is I had low expectations going into this movie because Ant Man and the Wasp was horrible. Okay, and I gotta pull up a little sheet here. Well, not a sheet. I just gotta pull up the Ant Man one cast here. So Ant Man 2014 or 2015. 2015. It was 2015. Okay, so I gotta pull this up. So where is he at? There it is. Okay, so first off, they jump into the movie really quickly. So they did their little Marvel humor, which for Ant Man, because he's a goofball, it works a little bit more. Okay, so like Paul Rudd, he's walking down the street, he's cruising down the street in my 6'4", and he walks into this coffee shop, and he goes to pay for the coffee, and this old guy goes, "Oh, no, 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 not for you, not for you." He goes he goes, "Not after what you did." And he goes, "Oh, thank you." And then he goes, "Thanks, guys." And then he's walking out, and the guy goes, "Thank you, Spider-Man." And then he just like stops, and I thought that was pretty funny. And then there's some other jokes that landed. Like they did a lot of jokes because the thing about Marvel movies is they just do so many jokes that eventually, like one of them's gotta land. So they did some pretty good jokes in there. My favorite one was they were talking, so you know how Hank Pym, I don't know if you know the Ant-Man lore good at all, but
Yeah,
Hank, yeah,
I know the movie.
yeah, so like Hank and Michelle Pfeiffer's character, whatever her name is, can't remember. Basically she's in the quantum realm for like 30 years, and he's trying to get her back. And so they find they're like in the quantum realm, and he's like flying the ship, and she's talking about, he goes, "You really did it with that guy," who was Bill Murray's character. And he goes, "You really did it with that guy?" And she goes, "Can you blame me?" He goes, "Ah, no." He goes, "I guess." He goes, "I can't lie, I did it with a couple people." She goes, "Really?" He goes, "No." And I thought that was pretty funny. That made me laugh a little bit. Hank Pym's kind of a goofball. But okay, so we got to talk about the elephant in the room. We got to talk about Kang. So story, it jumps in really quickly, and you have no idea what's going on, and you're like, wow, okay, this is kind of goofy, especially if you haven't watched Ant-Man or Ant-Man and the Wasp. You'll have no idea what's going on at all in the movie. And then it slowly over time, it gets a little better, and then you're like, okay, nice, this is great, I fuck with this. And and so by the middle of the movie, you get this kind of like Star Wars esque, like Star Trek kind of vibe, where you get like all these ships flying around, because it turns out that the quantum realm isn't just some weird little like microscopic thing. It's like a whole universe. There's like a whole universe underneath the universe, and basically the quantum realm exists out of space and time. It's like its own realm. And so basically you get this kind of Star Trek vibe where all these people wear these cool clothes, and there's all these ships, and you kind of get this Star Wars vibe with like a lot of the Empire thing going on, and it's got some really cool stuff in it. Um so eventually you learn about Kang. Michelle Pfeiffer's character, she's stranded and she's farming because she has no way of getting out of the quantum realm. So she's there, and she's like, okay, I see this guy crash land near my farm. She originally doesn't go help him, but then she decides to, and she sees Kang and he's all hurt and beat up, but you don't know it's Kang yet. I mean, unless you've already watched Loki, you'd know it's Kang, but like the audience isn't supposed to know it's Kang, and so you end up seeing Kang, and he's like hurt. She heals him, and then he starts talking about how he's from this immaculate society that's like leagues advanced of every other society, and he talks about how he's a realm jumper or a multiverse jumper. He says he has a ship. He has like the TARDIS from Doctor Who. He can go to any timeline. He can go he can go forward or backwards in time. He can go to any point in any of the multiverses. So he has like this crazy ship, and it's super powerful. And she's like, "Hey, I'll help you get back to your society." He goes, "Yeah, I crash landed here." So she's helping him, and they finally fix it together. They fix his ship, and as she like touches the core of the ship that she's going to put it in to like power it, she like it's connected to his mind, so she sees like him destroying and conquering all these like different multiverses and timelines, which I don't really like how Marvel does their multiverse, but it's whatever. And so then she breaks it and blows it up, and so then Kang like gets his suit back, and he basically creates an empire in the multiverse, and he's like super powerful, and then like he basically holds Ant-Man's daughter hostage and is like, "Do you know how many Ant-Mans I killed?" And then he's like, "You can't defeat me," or whatever, going back to what we were just talking about earlier. And he's really fucking powerful. He's whooping a lot of ass. He basically soloed like an entire army in the movie. And so then they find out, they're like, well, there's no way he crash landed here. So then you find out that there's this like society of Kangs, and this Kang like from all the multiverses, and this Kang, he was very powerful, and he was like the most fictitious and worst of them all. So the other Kang sabotage a ship and bring him down to the quantum realm because he can't escape the quantum realm. Because if as long as he's connected to time and space, he can escape. He doesn't need his ship. But the problem is in the quantum realm there is no time or space. Nothing basically matters. Like it's not moving. You're not going forward or backwards in time. In it this far down in the quantum realm or whatever. So then he's about to take off, and you think he's gonna win, and then Ant-Man like gets super big, and he breaks his massive ship that's about to take off, and then there's this like crazy fight scene. And then this is the craziest thing. There's a reveal about this machine killer that's gonna come out after Ant-Man, like halfway through the film, and you find out it's Darren Cross from Ant-Man.
Really?
Yeah. So it's the main bad guy from Ant-Man. When he got sent down to the quantum realm, he got all jambled up, and so he ends up becoming like when he was shrinking and like changing sizes and a bunch of and stuff like that. So he ends up like he ends up like becoming kind of deformed, where he has like a small body and a massive head. So they basically make him like this floating killing machine, and he ends up deciding to help and Ant-Man, because he's like, well, I don't know what I want to be, and he goes, just don't be a dick. And he goes, okay. So then that was kind of stupid, but then he so then he helps, and so here's the thing: they couldn't defeat Kang with the army, but Hank Pym, okay, he was messing around with ants, because he loves his stupid ants, and he was messing around with these hyper intelligent ants that were building their own technology and stuff like that. Well, these ants end up, when they get shrunk into the quantum realm, the ants come with them, and they don't realize it. And these ants grow super massive and grow a Type 3 civilization. They live like 1,000 years in like one day, and they grow like a Type 3 civilization, and they're super powerful. And basically, these ants overtake uh uh like Kang, because Kang's like, you know how many times I've defeated you all? He goes, I know every single move, when you're gonna do it, how you're gonna do it. And then like Hank Pym shows up with these ants, and he tries to take out the ants, and the ants just whoop his ass. And then they find a way back home, and right before uh Paul Rudd is about to go through the portal, Kang comes and smacks him in the face because his suit got broken, so he has nothing left other than just his fist. And so he goes, "But you just had to be the hero, Ant Man, huh?" And there's like this fist fight, and Kang's whooping his ass, and then Ant Man like starts like actually kind of winning a little bit, and then like Kang realizes that his only chance is to go through the portal, and he tries to go through the portal, and then the Wasp shows up and fucking punches him, and the thing that's powering the portal, he ends up falling into it, and they smash his like they hold his head into it, and they smash it, and they blow it up, and he dies with it. And then they open up another portal so Ant-Man and the Wasp can go home. But then in the end credit scenes, this is so that's how the movie ends. So Kang's dead. So everybody's like, "Hooray, yippee, wings are on the table. Nice." White people when they see the wings on the table. Hooray. But Ant-Man, he starts thinking about it, and he goes, "Wait, Kang was telling me that if he doesn't get out of here, there's going to be an even bigger threat coming." He goes, "Nah, it's fine." He goes, "Or is it?" "Nah, no, it will be okay." And then like later on, like as he's like at a birthday party for his daughter, he's like, "You know, I don't know if everything's gonna be okay." And then the movie ends. And then the end credit scene, it basically shows that the Society of Kangs get together, and they go, "Well, they defeated him." He goes, "So now you know what we must do." And he's like, the other Kang's like, "I think I get what you're getting at." And he goes, "Yep." He goes, "If they have the power to take us down, what's stopping them from taking the rest of us down?" He goes, "So I think it's time we intervene." And then the end credit scene ends. And then
We was Kangs and shit.
yeah. And then there's a second end credit scene that gives a little teaser for Loki season 2. So, if you liked Loki, you'll be happy to know that Loki season 2 is coming out. It's good. Of course, it's gonna be just as wacky as Loki. And then also apparently for some reason they around when the movie dropped yesterday, or I guess Thursday night when it premiered, they also announced for some reason that Moon Knight is gonna get a season 2 at next year at the beginning of the year, which was really weird because like that doesn't even tie into this universe at all. Like Moon Knight's in its own universe, so that was kind of weird. But um, yeah, it was pretty cool. But this multiverse shit is how they're gonna get Deadpool into the MCU. So and Wolverine. So there you go. There's your movie. Now, would I recommend go seeing it? You know what? If you have the money and you want to just go to the movie theater and you just want to watch a movie that's brain dead's got a lot of funny action in it, it's a good movie. It's I highly recommend if you're a big Marvel fan, you'll love this because unlike Ant-Man and the Wasp, where it's boring as hell, it's not. There's a lot of shit going on constantly, and it's really good. However, I would say if you're a big movie fan entirely, this movie, if you're like one of those really hypercritical people, you're probably not gonna like this. The movie has a lot of problems. For starters, it's horrible. It's spacing and time between everything happening is bad. You get pushed into it like within the first 5 minutes of the movie. You're already in the quantum realm. You have no idea what's happening, and then the pacing of the movie just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Because one minute he'll be like they'll be in a jail. Like Kang has them in these like cells, like these big cells that they can't escape, and he'll be like, "You're gonna go get this core for me, Ant-Man." And Ant-Man's like, "I'm not gonna do it." And he just holds his daughter up. He goes, "Okay, I'll do it." And then 5 minutes later, Kang has the core back already. And it's like, okay, so we just spent 50 minutes of the movie talking about how he can't get this core back and how we cannot give him this core back. And then Ant-Man just immediately gives him this core back. So it was kind of really dumb. But other than that, it has good action. I was kind of nervous about the CGI because the CGI has been bad, and with the quantum realm not being with there basically being no real sets at all for this movie, I was really afraid that it was going to be bad. The CGI was way better than Thor. I don't know if maybe like they just had like a bad day at with Thor and somebody messed it up, but this is leagues better. This actually looks like a Marvel movie again. So maybe
I'm
maybe
gonna be honest. I don't need to see it. I think your description and literally everything you just told me chronologically of what happened in the movie is probably the best thing I've ever heard. And I don't even want to watch it now because now I am actually excited at the movie. Like I felt like I just watched it based off of what you just did. And I'm just like, damn, that sounded so cool. That's awesome. I'm not gonna watch it because I want to actually believe it's a 10 out of 10. So
yeah. And yeah, if you watch it, you'll. I mean, I'm sure if I watch it again, I'll find nitpicks or stuff. But from honestly, and ranking this as a movie itself, I'll give it a 7 out of 10, just because it's setting up something that could be
It's kind
really
of
cool.
high.
Well, that is very high, but it's also setting up something that I think could be really cool that Marvel is trying to do. Um, and you got to remember what we were coming off of too from the previous Ant-Man movie, which was like probably almost a 0 out of 10. It was a 1 out of 10. They really stepped up. Paul Rudd stepped up the acting a lot. Um, Whoever plays Hope, I think her right there, Evangeline Lilly, she stepped up a lot and she played really good. And it was overall a lot of the jokes did land. There was a few that didn't, but overall the jokes landed. It wasn't like bad Marvel humor. It was actually, there was some pretty funny shit. Um, and it's not like it's a kids movie either, like how a lot of Marvel movies have been seeming recently. This movie is definitely made for adults or people who are about like 16 to 18. There was a lot of random moments where you don't think there's somebody like you, because like you, it takes you by storm because you're like, oh, it's Marvel, it's for kids. And then there's a scene where like Hank Pym like sees a dude that looks like broccoli, and he goes, holy shit, he looks like broccoli. And the guy looks at him and goes, "Ugh," and he goes, oh. and that was pretty funny. But yeah, there's some stuff that landed, stuff that didn't. But yeah, overall 7 out of 10. Now, however, if they don't do anything with, so they set up this universe, right, with all these Kangs and all that. If they don't do anything with it though, I'm definitely gonna go back and change my rating because it gave me false hope. Because this is setting up something that could be really dope. Because, like a year ago, I was laughing at the fact that Marvel had all this shit planned out until the end of 2025. But if they're going to really have this planned out, where they have all this stuff going to be connecting together, it could actually be pretty interesting. It could be good. So I think for now that's how we'll do it. We'll give it a 7 out of 10. And then we'll see how Guardians of the Galaxy goes, and how because I wonder how Guardians of the Galaxy is gonna play into this, if it's even gonna play in at all. And
Dude, that new movie looks dark.
the Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah, I watched the
yeah,
trailer for it. I was like, this is dark shit right now.
yeah, I know. Rocket's gonna most likely die, which is kind of sad. I mean, now that James Gunn isn't gonna direct Guardians of the Galaxy, and they said this is gonna be the last Guardians of the Galaxy, I mean, I don't know where they're gonna go with this.
Yeah.
So it because hearing that just kind of makes me also think about it too, and it's like, damn man, I'm getting old. Like, I'm not even that old, but I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, I remember when the both of those movies dropped in the theaters, and they looked really awesome, and I watched them and they were awesome, and now they're gonna be done. Like, we're never gonna watch it at home again. Like, you're never gonna be able to watch it in a movie theater. You're never gonna be able to watch it at home. You're gonna have these three movies and that's it. And I mean, maybe it sounds like a lot of the Guardians of the Galaxy crew is done, is what I hear. Like, Chris Pratt said he's pretty much done with Marvel. And it just goes to show you, when you have something as long as Marvel, like when it's been going on as long as it has, that it can't last forever.
That's very true.
Which is curious to see how, because eventually, Titans fall. So we'll see how the Titan falls. Who knows? Maybe the DCU will step up and I'll get a 10 years of awesome, dark, gritty DC movies, and James Gunn will blow me away. But yeah, so Marvel movies kind of took over. DC movies kind of took over this episode. Superheroes in general took over. But yeah, so we missed a lot and we covered a lot, I think, in the short amount of time that we did this in. Raven, you got anything else you want to add?
No, no. Anything I have to say could kind of be for next episode.
Okay, great. So we got caught up. Yeah, sorry. I was a busy bee. I was too busy winning medals. I was winning a bunch of medals. Actually, I have them right over there. I have 4 medals since the last episode. And so and then our sections for our knowledge bowl, which is basically like group Jeopardy. And so um yeah, we're really good at it, and I know a lot of random little goofy things. And so yeah, we're going to we're gonna go to our sections meet, and then we'll maybe get to go to state stuff like that. So, yeah, I guess without a further ado, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you, we appreciate it. And make sure to subscribe if you're on Spotify and Apple. It really helps us out and shows us what our demographic is, who we're really targeting our audience for, and just let us know in the comments on YouTube or wherever you want to see it, on some stuff we should maybe cover, or maybe some guests we should try and bring onto the show. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.
Bye.